Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Sincerely Agile with Mary. If you're joining us for the first time, this is a platform where we want to learn, unlearn, and relearn, make change agents of ourselves, and above all, it's a place where we want to be awesome and wholesome together. Today, we're looking at Agile and ORSC. ORSC stands for Organization Relationship Systems Coaching, and I have Tutu Ariyo as my guest today. And I'm just going to welcome her to the show. Hello, Tutu.
Hello, Mary.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you too?
I'm very well. I'm excited because the weather is getting better.
Yes, you
the,
can say
the,
that again.
the weather is getting better. It's nice and sunny where, down here in Kent. So it's good because when it's windy and wet and dark and gray, I don't like it. So it's a good weekend. It is. How have you been and how has your weekend been so far?
It's been a busy one, filled with family activities. So, what we are thankful. Yeah.
Well, if it's filled with family activities, then that's a good thing, isn't it? Because what else do we want to do at the weekends? We don't want to be working at the weekends.
As we do.
But thank you for making the time to be here today. And I'm actually considering changing my weekend slot to a weekday slot. So we'll see how that goes later
Okay.
in the year. So thank you for joining us. As always, we stream on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on YouTube. And I'm just going to check if any, well, Ronke as always has joined us. Hello, Ronke, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. So, Tutu, I'm just going to read out your bio as we do on this platform so that our audience can get to know you better. So, here we go. Tutu Ariyo is a Scrum Master, Agile coach, and OSC trained in terms of organization relationship systems coaching, with over 10 years of coaching and mentoring individuals, teams, and organizations to drive change through continuous improvement. Currently working at Capgemini UK, she's passionate about helping people discover their potential, transform their relationships, and manage conflict in the workplace and life while encouraging collaboration in diversity. She has worked with various charity organizations in Africa and Europe, coaching, mentoring, and facilitating programs to empower youth and women for over 25 years. She currently serves on the steering group committee of CRR UK and the board of trustees of a non-profit organization in the UK. Her hobbies include reading and dancing. Now, I can guarantee you, Tutu, that when it comes to dancing, you're going to beat me hands down. You're welcome to Sincerely Agile with Mary.
Thank
We
you.
have more people joining us. We have Ilarin Obona, thank you for joining us. Olubumi, thank you so much for joining us. And Kemi Anima Shang is also here. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. Now, Tutu, we both belong to the Agile community, a very, very beautiful and awesome community, I must add.
Yeah.
And today we're looking at Agile and OSC.
Yeah.
Now, my classic question here, especially for someone within the Agile community, I love stories. I believe with stories we make connections. With stories we inspire people. How did your Agile journey? How did that start?
Thank you, Mary, for inviting me to your show today. My agile journey started way back before I realized what agile is all about. Like most people, right? I was passionate about supporting and coaching individuals and teams, and I was doing all this during my uni days. And back then, I volunteer on several charity committees. I remember I was also a member of JCI, that is Junior Chambers International. Junior Chambers International provide leadership training and development programs to empower young people to create change in their communities. So fast forward after my graduation from uni, by the way, I studied microbiology, which is so
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Totally different. Well, not very far from what I studied. I studied botany at the University of Lagos.
Woo. So I went on to entrepreneurship school founded by Fola Adiola. I was one of the pioneering class then. And Foladiola, is the founder of Guarantee Trust Bank PLC. So I wanted to be, just really wanted to be an entrepreneur and a businesswoman. I partnered with other people to coach, train, mentor other people, train them to support our product and service delivery. Alongside that, I jumped on the bandwagon of working to earn extra income as a customer relationship manager. Then I had a beautiful stumble into Agile at a boot camp. And then from then, my dance with Scrum started. Um, I've worked in both the public and private sector. And I currently work as a Scrum Master, Agile Delivery Manager at Capgemini UK PLC, which is an IT company and it's a multinational organization. So I lead teams to deliver on complex improvement initiative to help define, align, deliver our product roadmaps to our clients. If I were to look back, Mary, I could say, I can say several things were instrumental in my agile journey, and that is my involvement in JCI, the build up, the foundation, and my association and engagement with several charities, being on the committees and liaising with other people to empower youth and women, coaching, mentoring, training, and sometimes mediating in conflicts between youth and their parents or guidance. And my passion for continuous improvement, to work on myself, using myself as the yardstick and, up my game at every time. So that's just the brief history about my journey in Agile.
And an interesting one at that too. There was something you said that caught my attention at the beginning. When I said, "How did your agile journey start?" You said you were actually already doing agile. Okay.
Mm,
And I think that is really instrumental to our audience here today. I can see a lot of agilists here already today, but I can also see someone here who has expressed to me, you know what, I really want to get into this thing, and that is why we have these conversations. That is why we get people to tell their stories, because you see, there's so much that we already do or that we have been doing that falls into that agile ways of working, that agile mindset, that growth mindset. Because sometimes when people hear agile, and especially when they hear you're working with development teams, you're working with IT organizations, I need to sip some water. So people automatically think that this is a technical space.
mm,
You see where I'm coming from, but it's
yeah,
really a people driven space. It can be anything but technology, to be honest, really.
mm,
So thank you for sharing that. So for those of you listening, if agile is something you're still curious about, this is a space for everybody. And we have a lot of transferable skills that we
definitely.
can bring into this space.
Yeah.
And I really love the fact that you've been working with JCI, right? And that is really a space for mentoring and coaching and
Mhm.
developing leaders. And that is exactly what we do in the agile space, isn't it? That's
Definitely.
exactly what we do. So you talked about you being a mentor.
Mm,
I'm sure when you came into the agile space, you also had people mentoring you. You then became a mentee, as it were.
mm.
Now, tell us about mentoring on your journey as being, someone who has been mentored, being a mentee essentially.
Yeah, I always tell people that you never know what you don't know. Someone has traveled the road that you want to travel in. And your best bet is to ask those that have traveled that journey to tell you how the road is so that you can better travel that road smoothly, and with less stress. I don't like stress. So I benefited from coaching from every journey, every step of my journey, and particularly my agile journey. Being new
Mm,
to the terrain, so for every step of my journey, I've received mentorship. And even in my present organization, I ask for it. You ask for it, you receive it. Ask and you shall receive, isn't it?
I like that.
So I tap into the years of experience of my mentors, to craft my developmental strategy. Several people have been instrumental in my journey, and chief among them is Anu Gopad, Femi Odelusi, who is presently my coach right now, and they've mentored me along my paths. We have Chichi, we have Divine Oshideko, I have Dewi Williams, I have people that have read their books that they don't know me, but I've just chosen them as a thought leader to follow. I have people like Mike Kwon, we have Robert Gullen, we popularly call him Uncle
Uncle
Bob
Bob.
in our circle.
Yeah.
So these are people that I follow closely, looking at what they are doing. How are they doing it? I'll catch some phrases, expression from them, put it into what I'm doing, reflect on it, and move on.
Absolutely. You said something. You said ask. Um, when we look at coaching and we compare that to mentoring, I mean, it's different, right?
Different.
With coaching, you're coaching people, you're not, you don't have content authority, as it were.
Yeah.
Okay. In mentoring, we have content authority. We're coming from a place of experience. So, for some people, especially if you're not within a work environment, if you're within a work environment, like you said, you ask for it. It might be easier in that context to ask for mentoring. But when we look at mentoring as, someone with superior knowledge or superior experience, and you're not within a work context, people might not feel vulnerable enough to ask. But we're telling you here on this platform, reach out to people. People have reached out to me on LinkedIn. The odd 30 minutes here, the odd 1 hour there. Reach out to people. And you also said something about following people you follow.
Mhm.
I've often said to people, who are you following? Especially these days where you can just be on your phone and you can scroll 24 hours away if you're not careful, right? If you're not intentional about how you want to use, social
Yeah.
media, you could just be like this for 24 hours.
Yes.
So who are you following? Now that is so critical. You talked about books. You can't see it, but to my right hand here, I have a shelf full of nothing but books, and I keep buying. I invest in books, and I'm grateful for the people who have taken the time to put this amazing, content together for us to leverage. That is so important. And again, back to mentoring, I want to again use this opportunity, to thank you, because you are mentoring my daughter. My daughter has just come into the agile space, and I want to thank you for, bringing her under your wings for mentoring. It makes a difference when it's not just mommy mentoring and coaching her. So thank you for doing that.
Mhm.
So let me go to my next question. Let's just see what we have from comments here. Now, your mentor is here, Femi Odelusi. Nice to have you here, Femi. Pete, nice to see you here today. Thank you so much, Yeti, for joining us. We hope you're having fun. Olubumi, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Now, back to my question. Now, I know we've been connected on LinkedIn for a while, but we actually met a few months ago
Mhm.
on OSC training, because I started my OSC journey. You started your OSC journey before I did. And we met on one of the sessions there, I think one of the interim sessions there. And I thought, you know what, we're going to get together and talk about OSC on this platform. So, what informed your decision to start your OSC journey?
Mm. So I've been hearing about Ox from different people. I heard about it in a coaching circle. Then my personal coach recommended it, and
Yeah.
through Bob Gallen book, you know. And I remember a conversation. I remember vividly my conversation with my coach Femi Odelusi
Mhm.
when I was mapping out my strategic development plan for 2022 at the start of the year, and I was quite, indecisive about the training to take. So we looked at several factors, and it was like, okay, these that we looked at the diversity of the coaching,
Mhm.
the roundedness of the tools, being taught by skilled and experienced people, experienced team coaches, with breadth of experience, the community available, you know, from over 23 countries coming together,
Mm-hmm.
the tools, the skill sets, the principle itself. So it was like, Tutu, you know what, you need to try this. Because I've been there, I've tried several things, and it was just about to begin his ORSC journey too as that at that time. He said, this is something that you need to try. And I'm quite grateful to him for his impact in directing my step to actually go for that training as
Yeah.
against other ones. So yeah, that was like a game changer for me. And I started with the first model, which was fundamentals.
Mm-hmm.
And from there was no going back.
Definitely, it's like, you get a taster, isn't it?
Mhm,
And once it tastes good, you're gonna go buy it, right? And that's what it was for me as well. I started the fundamentals, and I'm like, why haven't I done this all this while? Why have I mean, it had been on my radar that I would do it, and then Nari came on my platform. We had a Valentine show, and she really encouraged me to come on. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to put this off any longer. And I
mm,
went on I did the Oscar, I think the works one, but
mm,
it's the same as the fundamentals. I did that, and I'm like, whoa, we need this within the agile space, because let's face it, we are
mm.
always in relationships. Right
Always
here, right now, we are in a
in a
relationship.
relationship.
Right here, right now, we are in a relationship. There's a third entity going on, which
There's
is
a third entity going on.
exactly, there's a third entity right here, right now. So it's a rather interesting program, and I really want to encourage others that are listening right now. If you are considering it, don't put it off any longer. If you don't know about it, find out more about it. We will share the website with you at the end of of
Mm,
our conversation. Now, we did the OSCAM training.
mhm,
We do a lot of things like alliance, geography, path,
mhm.
intelligence,
Yeah.
and we often talk about how, we're dealing, or rather we're working within a complex adaptive system.
Mm,
And of course, complex adaptive system, that's something that has come up a lot within my, training within IC Agile for my expert cohort. And when I then attended us, I'm like, these things really do complement each other so well. And it really does help you see how you can help a system
mhm,
to reveal itself, and for everybody within that system to actually leverage the
mm.
brilliance within that system. So tell us a little bit more. What was the intelligence like for you? What did you think when you finished the intelligence, for example? And did you go, what might I be using next time when I join my team?
Right. So intelligence, that's what the is it the second model
The second module, yeah.
in the Oscar
Yeah.
training course. It's about how you address change,
Yes.
what is trying to happen,
Happen.
and how you can, you know, discover what is trying to emerge so that
Yes.
you don't go into an emergency.
Yes. Yes.
So for that, that was like a game changer for me, discovering all those tools that I can use on my team. And I will walk you back also to the fundamentals as well, crafting the DTA.
Yep.
Most team, I see a lot of people, they said they're struggling when it comes to the team charter, the ways of working. And I'm like, okay, when you have a team, why are you having so much conflicts? What did you start with? Do you have an agreement with them? It's like that's the basics of coaching teams or having um when we are going anywhere. I remember as a child, when I'm going in a car with my parents anywhere, they'll say, when we get to where we are going, don't do this, don't do that. They are simply setting the scene and telling us we are setting an alliance, we are
That's
co-creating
correct.
something. So that is the element of that relationship, how we want to be when we want to be together, how we want to be when we have conflict. When we set all these things, these boundaries, then we are able to function together. And that when change is about to happen in any organization or within a team, allowing the voices to come out, which is what OSC is really very intentional about. That is the RSI, that's the
Yeah.
relationship system intelligence,
Yes.
allowing all the voices to come out, harvest what all the voices are saying, see it as the collective part of all of us. And we're able to look at how we can take, then going straight to geography, take looking at how we can harvest what these people are saying, what the organization is saying, how we can go into each other's territory.
Yeah.
We call it land, the land
Yes,
war,
we got the land. Yeah.
get the best from it and move forward. Because when change is trying to happen, we can't go back to how we were, but how we want to be going
How we
forward.
want to
And what
be.
can we take from how we've been to the new place that we are and move forward. And those
Absolutely.
that don't want to move forward, how can we work together with them so that we don't leave people behind?
And help them cross the edge, as it were.
Exactly.
Help them cross the edge. Now, you talked about the team alliance. That
Mm,
is also important. And if you're a scrum master, you're struggling, you can always go back and check. Did we have a team alliance? Did we design one? Because that is like your social contract right there.
yeah.
Okay, this is how we want to be. That is so important. Now, talking about change and talking about emergence,
Mm,
we talk about, we're working in a complex adaptive system.
mm,
Things are always changing.
yeah.
Okay, things are always changing, but as coaches, it's important that we don't come in with our ego, right?
Mm,
But that we understand how to step back and see what is about to emerge.
mm,
Only then can we draw on different tools to help them, harvest that, if you like. That is what I love about OSC.
yeah.
So when I look back to my consulting days, I mean, I was writing my leadership reports just a few days ago, and I had to do some reflection, and I was comparing the person that I am today in terms of the work that I do to what I used to be.
Mm,
And the difference is the way we show up. As a consultant, you show up as an expert, like you know everything, right? But like you said, we don't know what we don't know.
mm,
And that is why we need to continuously invest in ourselves. Thank you so
definitely.
much, Tutu. I really like the way you responded to that. Pete says, thank you. This is a timely session. Absolutely. And I hope you're going to be starting your journey to Pete. I hope so. I hope so. Okay. So ask is important. Let's try and relate it a little bit more. I know we already started that conversation. Um, how important is this really?
Mm.
And how does it complement us? We've already touched on it, but what more can you tell me or
How
tell
much
us?
time do you have? I can talk about
Go
it.
ahead, go ahead, because this is important. We want to encourage people to start their us journey. You know how it is in this agile space. Once we see something good, once we find something good, we want to shout about it so that other people can join, right?
Yes. So, as a Scrum Master, coaching teams is something that I do every day. And as in Monday to to Friday. So, and as a leader, a youth leader in charity organization, coaching
Mhm.
is something I find myself doing effortlessly without trying. And the only thing I wanted to do was just for me to be more skillful in the
Right.
way I handle things. And that is where the tools from us come into play. And the tools helps you to draw on the strength of the entire team to continuously improve their processes and their results. You want results
Mhm.
anyhow. And helping that team to be able to get the results they need so that we can deliver service or the product to the end user is our ultimate goal. It's just so happened that tools have several tools to
Mhm.
coach, to facilitate, and develop a strong team
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
So, and going from the point of view of the RSI, that is relationship system intelligence, which support the team in recognizing and and developing the awareness of team as one entity, functioning as a whole rather than as a collection of individuals. So we have several models. I'm driving at something, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we
Mm-hmm.
have several models in the course. I'm not preaching or advocating for you to go through the course, but I'm just telling you what I have benefited and
Yeah.
several other people. And let me digress a bit. Several thought leaders in the agile space have undergone the training. Check their history, check their blog posts, check their books. You will
Yeah.
see a record of it there. So we are constantly in a relationship, and we want to invite others to see ourselves too in a relationship. Just like you said, that we have me, we have you, then we have
Yeah.
us. There's that
Yes.
us
Yes.
in there, which matters. Before we started this program, we said, okay, don't do this, let's do this. Yes, we are in a relationship and we have an agreement of how we want to comport ourselves and be together so that we can have a successful program at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day
Yeah.
and deliver value to those that are watching us from home. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so Ox, how it relates to Agile, let's start from the Agile values. The Agile values are four. Very, very well. Three of them align so perfectly well with human relationship. When we talk about individuals and interaction over processes and tools, Ox remind us that relationship matters. And that statement there, that value, is all about relationship, the voice of the system, the popular voice and the unpopular voices, in the
Absolutely.
team and in the organization as a whole. It is the team agenda and not my personal agenda. I always tell my teams, it's not my agenda. It is your agenda. I'm just here to facilitate and sometimes step in to coach the system to be able to, look at what is emerging, or we go back
Mm-hmm.
to agenda we have initially embarked on.
Yeah.
Well, so our impact as us coaches is to show every system how it is interconnected and interdependent on one another.
Yeah.
And the only way to move forward is for us to listen to the voices, acknowledge the voices, even though we may not like it, then find a common interest and move forward together.
Mm.
So, another of the value, which I find that actually relates very well with what Oscar is saying, is responding to change over following a plan. So, why are we? Where is that a change? Somebody instituted that change. Is it the end user, the stakeholder? System is in a constant state of change, and imagine what is trying to happen. What
Yeah.
is emerging? What are my competitors doing? What can I do better? How can I up the game? So, we create and invite inputs before it turns into an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
Or else, if we don't invite inputs, then you run into an emergency, then the project crash land. So, a demand for a new feature in any organization, even late in product development, is welcome. That
Yeah.
is what we're taught.
Yeah.
So, and being able to listen and process that change is what Agile is all about. And that's the tools to be able to process that change when, especially when resistance come, how you can help your team or how
Mm-hmm.
you can move the organization forward in the direction that is trying to emerge, not forgetting the what is happening before and what is trying to happen thereafter. Then the other one I will speak to is customer collaboration over contract negotiation. I mean, this is all people things, not
Yeah.
not um codes or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because when people
Yeah.
say that in IT or agile, what goes through their mind is all the
Technical stuff.
technical stuff. It's not. So customer voices are kept in the loop throughout the development process, and team members can ensure that the final product meets with the client's requirements. You know, the training in OXAX actually, it gives us that tool for us to be able to process change, dealing with resistance to change, getting consensus, which will help the change process to go smoothly, navigate pushbacks, that happens on teams, and mediate and manage conflicts, which happens all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, and co-create and design how we want to be together, what we call
Mm-hmm.
our DTA, design our team's alliance or organization alliance.
Yeah.
And most times in several organization or teams, we have hierarchical
Hierarchical.
structures,
Mm-hmm.
role confusion, role
Mm-hmm.
nausea
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
We're able to use the tools to address all those things,
Yeah.
right? Then to empower the team, empowering the team, building the courage to challenge. In one of the last ritual I had with my team, I told them, feel free to challenge me. There was something that happened, and I said, um, challenge me. I like the fact somebody actually came up and they were like, very not in a subtle way saying it. I said, I like that challenge. Please make it bold. Yes, I want to hear it. Challenge me.
That's how we learn. Feedback it's a gift.
So I
Yeah.
was like, make it louder, speak it out. I like it. Please, when I'm doing this, XYZ, please step up and challenge me. And
Yeah.
I'm up to that task. So it's very, very important. We emboldened the team to be able to step up and challenge not just you, the Scrum Master,
Mm-hmm.
not just you, the Agile coach. They challenge each other as well so that we can get results. So micromanagement. Team members are able to address their issues, and they're able to come up with solution, and they're able to develop more effective process, especially when they are being micromanaged. They can step up and mention it when you empower them. Oh, we have the tools also enable us in a lot of processes, to identify toxic behaviors that happens
Mm-hmm.
on teams.
Yeah.
And this is made popular by John Gottman in his book, The Four Horsemen,
Yeah.
the defensiveness, criticism, contempt, stonewalling. These are things that you see on
Stonewalling. Yeah.
teams, and how you can use different method to actually
That's
counter
great.
these things, address it, and help the team to recognize, oh, so this is what I've been doing. Wow, so this is the result. Be able to hone their part in the process and move the team forward. Moving forward is really very important, not just
Mhm.
revealing it to them and allowing them to stew in their in the rotten.
Revealing it to them, and those are one of the great benefits of us. It will reveal,
Yes, it's we
you know
reveal.
through constellations, whichever tool you decide to use, it will reveal what is happening there, and it will, like you said, you'll be like, okay, so this is what is happening. And
Mhm.
it does it in a subtle way,
Yeah.
in a very, very subtle way. And of course, as I mean, when we can eventually call ourselves us practitioners, we also know when not to use a particular tool if maybe things are a bit too heated and stuff like that. Let's
Mm,
go back to the first value of the Agile Manifesto:
mm,
individuals and
mm.
interactions over processes and tools.
Yep.
Now, within OSC, by the time you're done with your OSC training, you'll probably be walking away with about 40 tools. I think about 40 tools.
Yeah.
Now, that's a lot.
Mm,
But when we look at the Agile Manifesto values and principles, it's saying individuals and interactions over processes and tools.
mm,
I don't want people to get the impression that this is just tools, tools, tools. It is actually quite people driven.
mm.
If you look at the principles, it talks about, you know, every voice in the system is an expression of the system. So it puts people front and center. It talks about emergence. It talks about, the roles within the system. So I just thought I'll mention that, let people not think, this is all about tools. No, it is, with people front and center. And of course, change. What is trying to emerge here? That is all about
Mm.
change. Nothing is constant. What is trying to emerge? What more can you add to that?
Yeah, so people engaging with one another is really very important. And that's one thing that the tool
Hmm.
skill sets will enable you to be able to do on your team. Lack of engagement is something that is prevalent on a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Communication enable the team to engage with
Hmm.
each other and with leadership for you to be able
Somebody is giving you the
to
thumbs up there. Somebody with a similar name.
be able to give you the, to be able to give you the Now I lost my train, my thought. Yeah.
So
So engagement. So
yeah,
when teams engage together,
mm,
right, they are able to put their thoughts together
yeah,
and come up with solutions that best suits their context, as against somebody prescribing for them,
yeah,
right? And which is what agile and us being together, or as a when you're coaching teams, is all about allowing the
yeah,
team that are doing the work to reflect on where they are, where they want to go, and how best they want to get there. Your role is to serve as a mirror,
yeah.
reveal to them, hold the mirror up to them and say, "This is what you're saying. Did I just
Absolutely.
say that? Yes, you
Yeah.
just did, team. This is what you just said. Oh, no, we're not going that way."
I mean, it really does help the whole idea of agile teams being self-organizing, isn't it? It really
Yes.
does. Now, when we did the geography, I absolutely love the geography. And you know how you said at the beginning that we don't know what we don't know, you know? I had some reflections after geography. I'm sure I even mentioned it during the session that I wish I had this tool a few good years ago, how that would have really served me, right? Well, not served me, served the situation. I mean, I did my best at the time. We found other ways. I mean, we have liberating structures and other ways of doing things. But
Mm,
boy, if I had geography at that time, I mean, that would have been very, very useful. And again, coming back to saying we don't know what we don't know, that is why we need to keep investing in ourselves. And we've
mm,
got some comments here too. We've got, LinkedIn user says, reveals the voice of the system, encourage deep democracy. Absolutely. Awesome work, Tutu Ariyo. Absolutely. Deep democracy, making sure that both the voices that are beautifully expressed and the
mm,
ones that are not, skillfully expressed
yes, yes.
are heard.
Mm,
Because every voice, being the voice of the system, means something, it's an expression of the system. So it's important that we give the platform to them to tell us how they're feeling, why they're feeling that way, or what it is they want to share. So Scrum Masters, start planning to go on this training. Agile
mm,
coaches, start thinking of going on this training if you haven't already started it. Thank you very much, LinkedIn user. Thank you for that. And there's another comment here. Building a trusting and safe environment where problems can be raised without fear or blame, retribution, or being judged. Absolutely. And
yes.
that is very important in this space because no one has all the answers. I mean,
Mm,
every time I talk about no one having all the answers or that we need different perspectives, I can't help but remember the elephant story, where different people are touching different parts of the elephant. So, to a great extent, we all have a piece of the truth, right? We all have a piece of the truth.
2%.
We all have a piece of the truth. So it's so important that we give each other that opportunity to be heard.
Mm,
Now, let's talk about investment. I've mentioned investment a few
mm,
times. Now, within the agile space, I'm a trainer. I mean, I've been training for 15 years, long before I even came into the agile space. Up till date, I know how much I have invested in myself, and I'm getting the return on investment. It doesn't come cheap, but it's all good, right? But within this space, I tell people it is an investment, it's not a cost. It
mm,
is an investment in our growth.
mm,
And by the time you invest in yourself and you see that growth, you'll be amazed and you'll be wondering, what have I been doing all this while? So
mm.
what's the message from you about investment? I know there are free content out there, but you can only go so far with the free content, only so far.
Yeah, thank you. So, coaching is a journey.
It is.
It is a journey. There's no fixed destination. Depends on how far you want to go, right? Somebody asked me once, said, "Can you confidently coach a diet, a triad, or a group?" And that's a question I will ask you. What's your level? Can you coach two people, one person, a group? Depends on how far you want to go. That will
Exactly.
determine what you put into it. There's nothing that is worth doing that you won't invest in.
Yeah.
And if you are willing to be more skillful in how you deliver and be in service to the people that you intend to serve, then is what investing in, to be able to understand how you can deliver, how you can be in service to people. I came in
Yeah.
here with a certain mindset and it's been working for me. So I use it to put out of
Right.
work, at my workspace, everywhere. I'm on the board of organization. I use it there everywhere.
Absolutely.
It's applicable. So I want to add anyone that is thinking, oh, this is costly, you can spread the cost. Like I started the journey like middle of last year. I didn't finish until this year, January, because I wanted to give myself that space because I have so many things, like Mary said,
Yeah.
going on in my life, so many financial demands, and I needed to just spread the cost. And we have um the course that is just maybe run for 2 weeks that you can, invest hugely into and get the you may not be able to say, oh, this is my return on investment on day one. But immediately you join the class or the session or any session you decide to go into towards your being skillful at whatever you do, it's
Yeah.
a compound effect. You
Yeah.
see, you keep getting returns on it, and you just never know where it will take you, especially when you want to. Somebody say, how high do you want to jump? And
Exactly.
somebody say jump. Somebody told me one time that I should jump. I said,
Mm-hmm.
how high? So I will determine the level at which I want to jump. So
Yeah.
it depends on everybody, but I will advise that is what investing in. You will get returns. Your relationship, personal relationship, will take a turn around. You will know how to give soft startup. You will know how to talk to yourself, your inner self,
Yeah.
and be
Yeah.
able to coach yourself to calm down when situations happen. So I see a great benefit in it, and in whichever anyway.
And like you said, Tutu, it's like there's a spring in your step because you feel empowered with all this
Confident.
training. There's confidence in your
You
step,
feel
and
confident.
you can show up not arrogantly, obviously, but
Mm.
show up feeling empowered to serve.
To serve.
Feeling empowered to serve an individual, a team, or the wider organization.
Yeah.
That is what investing in yourself, that is what it does to you. I mean, there's a lot of challenges out there.
Mm,
One of the reasons we keep investing in ourselves is so that we can show up and help, to really get the success rate, if you like, of
mm.
agile transformations up. And talking about success rate of agile transformation, Femi Odelusi has a question. Let me bring that up. My contribution question: a lot of organizations struggle with scaling agile. How will us help their journey to scaling agile? That is coming from your mentor.
So, how will us help their journey to scale agile? Every organization, whatever method you decide to use to deliver your service to your end user or your clients, there are people that are driving this.
Yeah.
So, in as much as you have people that are behind the scene driving this change, then you need somebody that can coach the human beings that are going to be delivering that value. And that is where us come into it. So it doesn't matter if it is a safe or scaled framework that you're using. It doesn't matter which framework you're using. And even if you're not doing scaled agile and you are in other profession or disciplines as it may be, it is still very important for you to get coaching tools to be able to deal with human being of every form, shape, and sizes. Because everywhere where there is relationship, you need to serve that relationship, help that relationship to move forward. Change is constantly happening
It is.
to
It is.
every organization, to every team, right? And these are tools that will enable and empower the team to be able to move with the change without leaving anyone behind.
A few tools came to mind. Obviously, when we're scaling, we will be spanning boundaries, right? And in spanning boundaries, we can start thinking of geography. right? Start thinking of geography. How can I use geography to span those boundaries? Also, alignment, constellations, because you see, often one of the roadblocks we will find is resistance.
Yeah.
So if we have resistance, some of the things we want to do is find out what is behind that resistance. Because
Mm.
obviously, behind every resistance is an unmet need.
Yes.
Resistance is an unmet need that has been unskillfully expressed, if you like.
Mm.
But like we say within us, every voice of the system. So if somebody is resisting, if a team is resisting, we need to give ear to that voice to find out what is happening. The alliance, how do we want to use that within a scaling environment? Often we think that agile is just for the development team, right? So now we are saying no, it goes beyond that. We want to scale. How can we bring finance on board? How can we bring human resource on board, right? How can we span those boundaries and really get them to see our pain? So one of the ways we can scale, Femi, I hope we're answering your questions. How about we let finance see our pain? See the pain that we're going through. How about we let HR see how they are recruiting people who really don't fit our team? Do you see where I'm coming from? So how can we span those boundaries? We can do that by using constellations for us to
Constellation.
really reveal, our systems so that everybody can see what the problems truly, what the problems are, and then we can focus our effort on the real problems. I mean, for me, I think value stream mapping is also something that is going to really become very, very important, because often I think we're jumping into transformations, we're scaling without really, really looking for the real problems.
Mm.
Learning to see our environment, learning to see how value is moving, learning to see where the blockers truly is, where the blockers are, so that we are focusing our effort and resources and our dollars on the real problem. Femi, did we answer your question? Facebook user, good evening, good evening. Agile is fit for every organization. Is Agile fit for every organization? Tutu, I'll let you answer that.
Is Agile fit for every organization? It depends on what you want Agile to solve for you. So where exactly are you doing? So it depends on the problem you have, the challenges or where you want to get to. Then you look at, okay, will Agile fit or suit my organization? I may not be able to answer that question for every organization. So what do you want Agile to do for you? What
Mm-hmm.
do you want to achieve that you're not achieving right now that you think Agile will be the best tool for you to actually use, the method for you to use? So looking at that, that will determine if agile will suit your organization or not. I can't prescribe it for everyone. It may not be for
Exactly.
you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And just to add to that, talking about agile, agile is not a silver bullet. I mean, we talk about the Kynevin framework, right? You
Mhm.
have the complicated, you have the complex, you have the what's the other one now? The obvious. If you understand your product already, if your product is stable, if your requirements are not changing, then perhaps waterfall just might work for you. Perhaps you don't need the overhead of agile or scaling and all of that. Waterfall just might be the answer for what you do because your requirements are not changing. Let's not forget, when we talk about agile, we're really talking about empiricism, right? We're talking about empiricism. So I think that was Remy that asked that question. If I go back to that, Remy, I hope that answers your question. Was it Remy? Yes, it was Remy Oluwabamiche. Yeah, so agile is not a silver bullet. We need to understand whether we are operating in a complex environment or a
Mhm.
relatively stable environment.
Environment.
Um, Great response to the question. Really, I'm happy you're learning, Christopher. Thank you for joining us today. And there's a Facebook user there, we can't see your name. Now, what else have I got here for you? Um, your message for aspiring agilists.
Well, for anyone that is an agilist and you're still on the fence, I will encourage you to take another shot at it
Mm-hmm.
and look at joining to see what like I said when I was answering the question concerning agile fit for an organization,
Hmm.
what is it that you don't know that you will want to know?
No.
We've said several things on this call. So, do you think what we've said, do you think it fits in with what you want to do, what you want to learn? Anyone that wants to, you know, be able to coach multiple teams, individuals, couples, relationship, or be a better person and be self-aware, socially aware, emotionally aware, and somebody told me globally aware of what is happening. So be more intelligent as a person, then you need to go for this course. Try the first one, and there are calls where we, showcase to people what is available on OSC.
Hmm.
I'm a member of the steering group committee, and we constantly have sessions where we give people a taste of what is happening. And we have sessions where we do bite size introduction, application of the tools every month, where you can easily join in and see how the tools are being used and explore. So, for everyone, I will advise you to, it's something which you need to do. Come on board, come ready to develop yourself. Start with you,
Mm.
be open, be ready to explore, be
Yeah,
present and vulnerable
that is
and
it.
learning. And it's open for everyone, not just agilists, not
No.
just anyone. You are, for not profits, for teams, for organization, for executives, for anyone that is working in collaboration for transformation. You actually need these tools to be able to do, to be more
Absolutely.
skillful. Yeah,
To be skillful. I mean, we can use it in any domain. To be
any
to be
dimension.
honest,
Yeah.
we can use it. And again, if you're a change agent, if you're a change agent, you are, you are someone who is offering, because if you say you're a change agent, we're essentially offering ourselves as instruments to serve.
Mm.
These are, courses that can really empower you, like I said before, make you feel more confident, make you feel more knowledgeable, make you feel more skillful, and it puts a spring in your step. And more importantly, you're positioned to serve better. That is what this is all about, and we need to continue investing in ourselves. I think I have a few more comments. We're slowly coming up to the hour. Awareness of your surrounding is most important to use the agile approach. Yes, it makes us aware. I mean, we talking about being aware, talking about becoming a better person. You can't give from an empty cup. You need to sort yourself out first before you can sort out anybody. So if you want to, coach, you want to train, you want to mentor, you need to keep investing in yourself. So there's just so much these courses, what they do for us. I mean, I'm currently, like I said to you, Tutu, I'm overloaded. So I don't think I've paid attention to my whip properly. I'm doing IC Agile, I'm doing CTC and CC, but it's all good because they all complement each other. So I'm happy I'm on my journey as well. This session has been most helpful. We'll be watching the replay. Thanks, Mary. Thanks to thank you, Ronke, for always being here. You're my childhood friend, so I'm not surprised. Kemi has been here also, so thank you very much, Kemi, another childhood friend. Now we're going to wrap up very, very slowly. Um, Tutu is on LinkedIn. Connect with her so you can see the things she posts, the things she talks about. She's amazing and she's growing, and I'm just so, I'm so supportive of her growth, and I'm celebrating her here today, because in this environment we try to sharpen each other. That is what we do in this space, and I love the agile space so much because we are so open to sharing. It's amazing because we want to pull everybody along. Nobody, we don't want to leave anybody behind. Kemi says, thank you to you explained this stuff effortlessly. Absolutely. Amazing session. Thank you very much. Now, talking about us, if you want to start your journey, please go to crruk.com. And so far, all the 3 modules I have taken so far, I have 2 more modules to do. It's been amazing. amazing. You know how you spend the whole day online and you're not even feeling it because you are enjoying every single session. You're enjoying all the modules. It's been so amazing, and I've been able to relate it to what I had done in the past that I could have done better. It's just so amazing. I can't say it enough. See how we are saying it's amazing, it's amazing. I see we're going to get some percentage from this. We're not getting anything from it. We're not getting a dime. We just want people to come and experience what we have experienced so far. And I'm not even done yet, but I know what I have experienced. I know the growth that I have achieved so far, and I want the same for you guys as well. So please go to CRR UK if you're interested in this, you want to know more. And sometimes they do some meetups. You might catch some information from that. You could also get some information from their newsletter. So check out their website. And Nari, who I think is the director for the UK, she's an amazing woman as well. And she has a lot of people, that facilitates with her. Now, talking about Sincerely Agile with Mary, this is going to be my last session, my last episode for a while. Because I have a lot on my backlog, and I think I need to give myself some breathing space a little bit. I want to take some break. I want to travel, and I want to do a whole lot of stuff. So it's going to be sometime in the summer before we come back. August, September-ish. It's going to be a really long break, so I can just, attend to my backlog a little bit. A few more comments. Femi says, yes, so I need some break. Thank you both for an amazing session. Thank you, Larry. Thank you so much. And this is where we are going to pull the curtain. Thank you, Larry. I hope I'm pronouncing your name very well. And we have Terence here. Thank you so much, Terence, for joining us. And we also have Alina. Thank you so much, Alina, for joining us. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So this is where we're going to say bye-bye. I'll see you in a few good months. Thank you all very much. Tutu, thank you for the time investment here today. I really, really appreciate it. And I wish you continued growth as you, continue with your ORSC journey. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.